Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. In this video, we are super excited to bring you a species profile of a fish that stays small and it's got a lot of color, and that is the Cherry Barb. Appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoy the video. So this is a 55-gallon tank that you're looking at with a lot of really cool fish. The Cherry Barbs are the ones that are red with a black horizontal stripe across their body. All of these fish we got from Flip Aquatics. They are a channel sponsor. Check them out if you're looking for nano-size fish or shrimp. It is a great place to search for awesome looking fish. So we are going to be talking about the Cherry Barb today. These are really cool fish. They stay relatively small, so you're going to get somewhere around 1.5 inches to 2 inches. These fish are not quite full grown just yet. The males and females look a little bit different. The females are going to be the fish that you see that are red with the darker stripe across the body, and the males tend to take on a more red color. Now, for the most part in this tank, we have mostly females, as you're looking at right here. We do have a couple males, and it just turns out that's the ideal ratio, is you want to have 3 or 4 females for every male, and you do want to keep them in a group of at least 8 to 10. Now, they are, as I mentioned, they're peaceful fish. They'll usually give you at least 4 or 5 years in the proper water parameters and setup. There are lots of options for tank mates with these fish. You can do pretty much most small tetras. Ember tetras can be a great option. Most of the neon types like the cardinals, the standard neons, the golds, the black neons, Von Rio tetras are great. Almost all Cory cats would work out well. Bristlenose plecos or clown plecos as a cleanup crew. Most of your live bearers are going to do great, like guppies and endlers and platies. And in fact, we have some platies in this tank. You could look at peacock gudgeons, smaller types of gouramis, hatchet fish. If you want to do some cichlids like cribs or rams or apistos, that would work out well. Rasboras work out well. And if you wanted to add some mystery snails, that would be a good addition too. Now, as we look at this 55-gallon, we've got a lot of the fish I mentioned. We've got some Von Rio tetras. We have some blue tetras. We have some pygmy Cory cats in this tank. We do have some bumblebee platies, and they're all getting along really, really well. Now, again, the red fish that you're looking at here, that is a male. This is the female that's got a little bit of a lighter color to it. And these are, like I said, are pretty easy to care for. So in terms of temperatures, as long as you're 75 to 80 degrees, they're going to be fine. A pH of roughly 6 to 8 is going to work out okay. We're closer to that upper limit of 8, even 8.2, and they're doing okay. But ideally, the closer you are to neutral, the better off they're going to be. Water hardness between 4 and 15 degrees water hardness is going to work out well. Again, you just want to make sure that you don't have any ammonia or nitrite in your tanks, and we try to keep our nitrate less than 20 parts per million. These fish are really easy to feed. In a minute, I'm going to show you what they look like when they eat, because I thought it would be fun. We feed our fish North Fin flakes, North Fin micro pellets for the smaller fish. They will definitely take some frozen brine shrimp, frozen bloodworms. They do like a little snack of live baby brine. Not necessary, but we like to feed our fish that just because they go crazy and get really excited. If you're looking for a tank size for this particular fish, the minimum, absolute minimum would probably be a 20-gallon long, only because you want to keep them in larger groups, like I said, of somewhere between 8 and 10. And a 20-gallon long is going to get you close to that. Even better would be a 29-gallon or larger. Now, decorations here, it does actually play a role in the way the fish are going to look. As you can see in this tank, we have a black background, we have dark substrate, a black sand, we do have some driftwood and some plants and some rocks. But what makes a difference is that darker background and that darker substrate is going to allow the fish, especially the males, to stay a little bit darker, and they're going to look a little nicer, in my opinion, with that darker substrate and that darker background. If you go lighter, that's fine, but you might start to see them wash out just a little bit. The live plants are not necessary, but they do like to have their hiding places. So whether you're doing live plants or plastic plants, whether you're doing plastic decorations or things like we've got here with the driftwood and the rocks, that does help them feel more comfortable, as well as when you keep them in larger numbers, that also gives them a level of comfort, and they will be a little bit more active when you do that. Now you can see here they're not tightly schooling fish. We've got about 10 to 12 in this 55-gallon tank, and for the most part they're just kind of doing their thing. They swim all over the tank, and you'll see that throughout the video. They'll be at the top of the tank, towards the bottom, in the middle. Sometimes they'll group up together a little bit. Other times they are all off on their own. So if you're looking for a fish that's going to school tightly, this probably isn't going to be one that I would consider. When it comes to breeding cherry barbs, they breed a lot like other cyprinids and barbs, and that is they're going to be egg scatterers. So if you're interested in breeding them, the way that I would do it is probably put a group in a 20 long or a 29 gallon with some spawning mops. They will generally release a lot of eggs that will get caught up in those spawning mops. Remove those spawning mops to a 10 gallon. Let the fry hatch out. It's going to take a few days. The trick here is that the fry are going to be absolutely tiny, and they're going to need extremely small food, things like microworms, infusoria, until they get to the size where they can accept live baby brine shrimp. You can't leave the fry in a community tank or with the parents, or they will get eaten, unfortunately. But this is a great fish, just full of color, full of personality. It's definitely one I would consider for that 20 gallon or larger. Like I said, 29 or greater would be even better. You can see here they're getting along with the other fish in the tank very well. There's no fin nipping, no fish hiding in a corner or anything like that. So highly recommend, if you get a chance to try them out, do it. If you want more information on some of the fish featured in this video, and certainly some tank mates, check out these videos in the upper, lower, and right hand corner, as well as in the description. We'll have lots of species profiles for you so you can start building that tank around your cherry barbs. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.